first step to learning how to do nose manuals is to find a good spot to do it. A box like this, about 7 inches high, 8 feet long, is it's really good sizes, but if possible, try to find something cement, because with a box it can move, or it sort of sinks in when you first land, and also you can chip the edge when you mess up. So if you can find an actual cement manual pad, that's probably a lot better, but just anything around that size is nice. If you go much shorter, then you'll sort of just be tapping the nose manual, and you don't have time to gain your balance before you have to pop out right away. You just sort of do a nose bonk, you know. So once you find the spot, you obviously need to be able to ollie up the box. It'll probably help to do manuals on it. You know, the technique is completely different, but just being able to get up there and balance on 2 wheels will sort of help you get into the feel of doing nose manuals. And on flat, you should be able to do nose manuals at least twice as far as the thing you're trying to nose manual, so that you know you can balance it, and landing and getting out are the only things you really worry about. Okay, now setting your feet up, something this size, I do it about like this. Again, it really depends on your personal preference and how high it is. You know, if you can do nose grinds and nose slides and stuff, you should know how to transfer up to the nose. So just however you're used to, about like this seems to work. You really don't want to go like this though. I know it's tempting to just sort of come up, raise the nose, and shift your balance, but that's not going to help when you start doing higher stuff, and it really looks like crap too. So set up like this, and you don't need to know how to do nose grinds. For me, it hurt more than it helped. I'd been doing nose grinds for a while before learning nose manuals, and what happens with a nose grind is that I come at an angle, and then I sort of bring the tail around so I can grind straight. But if I'm going at the box, I start out straight, so I turn a little bit, and then suddenly I'm turning, and I've got to pull it back around, and it didn't help me at all, but it might help you just being used to the balance and popping out at the end and all that stuff. Okay, now with something this short, you don't really need to pop the tail and get up in the air. It's more about just shifting your weight. Actually, if you really ollie and get up in the air, then you'll land in the nose manual, and that's when you sink in a little bit, and you know, it's a lot harder when you actually land in it. You just want to get just high enough that you just sort of shift balance over it. And that goes the same with normal manuals. You don't really want to ollie up and slam the tail down. You just sort of want to clear the back truck so you can balance. But with something this size, it's more about just shifting your weight. And you can practice that by just rolling with your feet on the bolts and just sort of hopping over the nose and landing on it. You know, you don't really want to practice ollieing for the same reason, because you're landing in it. But just getting used to the feel of actually shifting your weight over it and staying there. That's a big problem. Like when you first land in it, you might be able to hold it for a little bit, but you can't help but put down the 2 wheels. So it helps to work on that for a while. See if you can hold it out for a little bit after shifting your weight. The problem is if you shift it really fast, and you'll keep shifting, and you can't help but bail that way. But that's just something you have to practice. Just get used to the balance, and you'll be alright with that. Now, once you land in the nose manual, it's really hard to get the first few feet. You know, once you get past that, you should be okay until the end, assuming you're pretty good at nose manuals. But right in the beginning, if you don't really commit, you'll either land like this and fly forward, or you'll land too far back and the board will start to shoot out, and you know, it could either go like that or it can slam into the edge here, which will, you know, chip up the edge or your truck and send you flying too. So it's all about committing, really. Like with a normal manual, you can land, you can sort of scrape your tail if you have to and just get used to the feel. But with a nose manual, you have to go for the whole thing. You know, there are no shortcuts with it. You can't drag the nose, you know. So you want to keep your weight as much over the front two wheels as possible. It seems pretty obvious, but if you're not going fast, what's going to happen is you're going to want to try to push the nose ahead so that you make sure it's on top of the box. And if it's too far ahead, then it's going to shoot out. So one of the problems with this trick is that you have to go kind of fast, you know, which makes it pretty hard to learn in the first place, because you usually want to go just fast enough where these front two wheels will get on and try to hold it out. But right here and towards the end too, when you have to pop out, speed is pretty important. So you want to go as fast as you're comfortable. Maybe just land in the Nosemanual, and you know you're going too slow to pop out, but just get used to the feel and build up and go faster and faster. Once you lock in, it's just the same as doing it on flat ground, so there's not much to say about that. Now, when you go to pop out at the end, it's just like a nose grind. If you can do them, you don't actually need to pop the nose and get up in the air and clear it or anything. All you're really doing is pushing the board ahead and getting your back wheels up so that it clears. You want to start the motion for it about here, because it's just like if you've ever tried to fake yollie or nollie a gap. You want to start far enough away where the board doesn't just roll off the end. It's the same idea. You want to start far enough back, and then if you don't, what happens is you still have weight on the board once the back wheels come off. So when those wheels come off, the board just slams down and you go flying. So you want to start far enough back so that right when the wheels reach the end, you're starting to come up. You just hop a little bit, push the board ahead, bring the wheels up, and you clear it. Now, my friend Tony, he can't pop out at the end. I've seen him do it and hit the back two wheels and stuff. But what he does, he'll just do a shove it or a big spin or even a 360 shove it. He just works around it. And it's best to try to pop out. But if you're really having a lot of trouble with it, try to pivot, try to shove it, and just see what happens with that. So watch the ones I filmed, and good luck.